All right, hello everybody. Welcome back in. This is Soothe the Seasons 25 days of breathwork for grief and stress during the holiday season. My name is Addie. I will be leading you through a short breathwork session tonight. We are on day 22 of a 25-day breathwork journey. So if you have been here with me every day for the last 22 days, give yourself a big self-love hug, pat yourself on the back. Congratulations to you. I would say that I think you enjoy this thing called breathwork. If this is your first time stopping in, or if you are popping in on the replay for YouTube, I want to welcome you guys in. So tonight our theme is finding joy in the moment. And this is one of those themes that could be a somewhat difficult concept to grasp, because when we are really high stress or when we are knee deep in the thick of grief, it's really hard to find joy. It's hard to find those things that we're grateful for. It's hard to find the good, or what seems to be the good, in the midst of like hell and chaos. But I encourage you, and I want to challenge you tonight as you flow into your day tomorrow, to see where you can pull and find these little tiny pockets of joy. One thing about the grief journey is that for myself specifically, I've referred to a lot of things that I do as finding joy. Because when you experience a significant loss, it's hard to find the joy. And when it's a really close, significant loss, sometimes parts of yourself are also lost. Pieces of us that become secondary losses to the original loss. And we do have to work to find the joy again. And so what I want you to recognize is that with your breath work, with coming into a practice of presence, with being with oneself, with sitting here in the moment for the next few minutes, I want you to see if maybe you can allow for that to simply be joyful for you. If you can have a few moments with no stress, a few moments of full clarity, a few moments without constantly having your mind and your attention on the grief that you may be feeling, can that count as joy? And so maybe a good place to go with this, if you want to take this into a journal prompt for the week, and you don't have to, but I'm just throwing this out there, is maybe we can write around the idea of, what does joy look like for me? And even one step further than that is, what does joy look like for me now? Because maybe joy a couple of days ago is not the same as what joy looks like for you today. And the truth is, maybe joy for you a month from now will not be the same as joy for you today. And all of that is okay, and that's why this journey is about finding joy. It's about finding pockets of peace and being present in them. So welcome in. This is day 22 of our 25-day breathwork journey. Again, our theme for the night is finding joy in the moment. And our mantra is, I find joy in the present moment. And so I hope that this little breath sesh will bring a sense of calm or a sense of peace to what could be a really chaotic nervous system right now. So let's try our best to drop out of fight or flight. Let's try to drop into our rest and digest. So we'll come into a comfortable seat if you aren't already. If you're laying down, that is also fine. And you'll just want to make sure if you're laying down that you're nice and comfortable, that you're flat on your back is flush against the bed or the floor, or whatever it is that you're laying on. And we'll sit up nice and tall and straight if you're sitting. And so before we get started with our actual breath session, where we will begin to consciously breathe, we are going to be working with a psychological side tonight. So we are going to be working with 2 inhales and then 1 exhale. And this is one of those breaths that is intentional for activating the parasympathetic nervous system, for bringing us into that rest or digest, for calming down our emotions, for bringing our blood pressure down, for lowering the heart rate, okay? And so that breath will look like 2 breaths in, and we'll take those through the nose. So, and then we'll open the mouth and exhale that out. Okay? But before we get into the breath, while you are simply seated and waiting, while you have brought your awareness to the present moment, I'm going to ask that you begin to simply just do a body scan. Okay, so we always want to check in. And this check-in is one of the most important parts, because sometimes, and for a lot of us, this check-in becomes the first time that we've really checked in with attention all day long. How many times did you ask yourself today, like, how am I? How many times did you stop what you were doing to be fully present in your body and say, like, how am I feeling right now? We don't often check in with the body, right? We don't often check in with the breath. And so the purpose of this body scan is to check in and to take stock and to get an awareness of where your current state is. First of all, how do we know that our states are even shifting if there's no stock or attention or intention or notice to what is going on in the body, first and foremost? Okay, so learning to tap into that inner space, learning to tap into the body, learning to be more consciously aware of what our soma is saying. This is somatic therapy. This is somatic healing. This is the foundation of that, coming into the awareness of it. So we'll start at the top of the head. And before we really check in even there, I'm going to ask that you go ahead and check in with your breath right now. So how are you breathing right now in this current moment, without manipulating or changing anything about how you're breathing? Don't go trying to change it. Just taking an observation of what your current breaths are like. Are you breathing from your chest? Is your chest the first thing to rise? You notice your chest breathing? Are you breathing from the neck and collarbone? Is your collarbone and your shoulders the first thing to rise as you inhale? Or are you taking deep belly breaths? Are you inhaling and your belly is expanding and filling up to the lungs? And so we're just checking in. There's no judgment here. This is simply just an observation so that you have a starting point, so that you know where you are at all times by checking in with the breath. Shallow breathing is anxiety. Shallow breathing is stress. Shallow breathing is poor posture. Shallow breathing is not being in the fullness of our breath. So it's really important to just check in. Are you breathing through your nose, or are you breathing through your mouth? It's winter time. Is one nostril like unavailable, or are you equally pulling air like through both nostrils? So again, we're just taking stock. What does it feel like when you breathe? What is that breath feeling like? And so what I'll have you do now is bring that attention to the top of the head. We'll just go through our body scan. So bringing that attention to the mind, to our thoughts. And then we'll check the tension areas in the physical body. So bringing that awareness here into the center of the forehead, where we can furrow our brow when we get upset or frustrated, or when something doesn't make sense, right? We knit the brows together. And so just checking in with this area and checking to see if we're holding stress, if we're holding tension, and we'll bring that awareness down into the jaw, another area of tension, where we can sometimes clench our jaws and be holding our mouth really tight. So we'll check in here. loosen that up. And any area that you observe that you find may feel like, oh wow, that is kind of tight, or I'm clenching, or I'm holding here, I invite you to relax it, to release it when you come into the awareness of it. So we'll bring that attention down into the neck and shoulders. And if you need to, invite some gentle movement into the neck so that you can just feel. So we're just observing what's going on in the neck and shoulders. This is an area where we tend to store a lot of tension, stress. So all this can rest chronically in the physical body, in the neck and shoulders. And so we'll bring that awareness into the chest, okay, into the upper chest, and especially into the heart space. Checking in with the heart, asking, how are you today? How are you right now in this moment? And maybe for some of you, this is the first time you've ever in your life asked your heart, how are you? And so as we learn to be in the body and listen to the body, we can start to hear what the body speaks back. So we'll bring that awareness into the upper back. We'll bring that awareness into the lower back and into the hips. And we're just observing, checking in. Are we holding tension? Do we feel pressure? Does anything feel tight? What is going on inside the physical body? Okay, that's what we're checking on. Bringing that awareness down into the legs. We can bring that awareness into the heart center, into the solar plexus, into the sacral. Okay, we bring that awareness into the womb space. We bring that awareness into the legs, into the tops of the thighs. And all the way down, last but not least, we bring that awareness into the feet. And now that you've kind of checked in with the body and you have gotten an observation of what might be going on in the body, we've checked in, we've been able to see where some of those tight spots or tension or stress or maybe even aches and pains might be held. And so the last thing I want you to do before we start our active breathing is to consider what you're feeling like on a scale from 1 to 5. 5 being I am the literal most stressed I've been. I can't take it anymore. I'm super stressed. Or I am knee deep in grief and I am overly emotional and the grief is just drowning me right now. The wave is heavy. To a 1 being I'm okay. I'm solid in this moment. I feel pretty good. I'm nice and peaceful. I'm pretty content. I'm in the present. Okay, so 1 being the best you can feel, even under stress and in a process of grief. And 5 being like fuck this. Like I need to do something about it now. Okay? And so once you have that number now in your mind between 1 and 5, we'll get ready to begin our breath. And so remember, we are working with a double inhale and then a sigh as an exhale. So that will look like inhaling and then trying to take in just a little bit more, going through the nose, and then we're exhaling through the mouth. So we're gonna do this for 3 minutes. We're gonna take a 3-minute round of breath here. And that'll be it. So if you're sitting up nice and tall and straight, or if you're lying down on your back, we'll bring our awareness to the breath. And we'll take an inhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale through the nose, belly rise. Inhale again.
Don't be afraid.
Exhale. Inhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale, deep belly breath. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Breathe in. In again. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath. Inhale. Inhale again. Slow exhale. And we'll take one big deep inhale here. Belly breath, inhale. Inhale one time, pulling it all the way up and hold. 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 And open the mouth, audible exhale. Wonderful. As your breath returns to a normal rhythm of breath, I want you to use this moment, these few moments of presence, to really just observe how you are feeling in this moment now. After 3 minutes of breath, where are we now from where we started? If you were at a 5, are you still there? If you were at a 3, are you still there? And we'll use this present space to tap in and check in. So we'll basically run through the body scan all over again. Except this time you're just going to check in on your own. I'm not really going to guide you through it. We're going to check in with all the stressor points, the tension areas. Checking in all the way down. And maybe your fingertips or your feet might feel a little tingly. Sometimes with breath work you can feel a little lightheaded. It's possible that you can feel different sensations. So we are observing the body and we are observing the space that comes after deep breathing. If you did it, I actually don't believe you. So, but if you're at a 7, it is possible that maybe you should take another round of breath or breath work, and this particular space is not the space for you, and that's fine. I'm not for people who pop into the comments like just to say something, so I'm not going to give that my attention at this point. But you guys who are here and who did this. This is day 22 of our 25-day breathwork journey. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. It's always possible that you can need more than one round of breath, and your breath work is not a magical pill, but breath work is proven to lower your blood pressure, to lower your heart rate, and to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, bringing us from a space of stress or hyperactivity in the body, high nervous awareness, fight, flight, into a more rest and digest and calm space. So you guys, this is, we're almost done. So once again, our theme for tonight is finding joy in the moment. And so I hope that for the rest of your night and for the rest of your day, if it is daytime or whenever it is that you are catching this replay, that you are able to hone into the moment and try to find those little pockets of joy. Try to find those little pockets of joy. I will see you guys back again tomorrow for day 23 of Soothe the season. Once again, if you're just popping in or if you kind of came in on the tail end of this, the replay videos are available on my YouTube channel and you can access those through the link in my bio. So thank you guys for joining me. And as always, don't forget to breathe. Have a wonderful rest of your night, everyone.